He was fat and bunchy as a rabbit should be. His coat was spotted brown and white. He had real red whiskers, and his ears were lined with pink satin. The rabbit was loved for all of 2 hours, but then he was forgotten among the other presents. He was eventually put away in a cupboard where he lived for a long time. None of the other toys liked him except the old skin horse. The skin horse had lived longer in the nursery than any of the others. He was so old that his brown coat was bald in patches and showed seams underneath. Most of his hair had been pulled out for necklaces, but he was very wise.
What is real, Skin Horse? Does it mean having things that buzz inside you in a stick-out handle?
Real isn't how you're made. It's a thing that happens to you. Once your child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, then you become real.
Does it hurt?
Sometimes, when you are real, you don't mind being hurt.
Does it happen all at once, like being wound up or bit by bit?
It doesn't happen all at once. It takes a long time. That is why it doesn't often happen to people who break down easy or have sharp edges. Once you are real, you are generally quite shabby. But that doesn't matter, because once you are real, you cannot be ugly, except to people who don't understand.
I suppose you're real.
Yes, I was made real by the boy's uncle a long time ago. But once you are real, you cannot become unreal again. It lasts for always.
It will be a long time before I become real.
Nana, I cannot find my little China dog. I cannot sleep without him. Take off, Bunny. He will do to sleep with you. From that night on, the boy always slept with the bunny. At first it was uncomfortable, but he got used to it. When the boy dropped off to sleep, the rabbit would snuggle down close under his little warm chin and dream in the grasp of the little boy all night long. Spring came and they had long days in the garden. Wherever the boy went, the bunny went too. But one day, the boy accidentally left him outside. When dark came, the bunny was nowhere to be found.
Nana, I must have left him on the land. Please go get him.
So Nana went out with a candle to search for the rabbit. You must have a little bunny. Fancy all that fuss for a toy.
You mustn't say that. He's not a toy. He's real. The nursery magic has finally happened. I am real. The boy himself said so.
That was a wonderful summer. There was a wood near the house where they went to play. Before the boy wandered off, he would always make the rabbit a cozy nest in which to stay.
One evening, while the rabbit was lying there alone, he saw three strange beings creep out of the tall grass near him. They were rabbits like himself, but quite a bit furrier.
Why don't you get up and play with us? I don't feel like it.
But the rabbit just didn't want to admit that he had no clockwork.
Oh, it's as easy as anything, but I don't believe you can. I can jump higher than anything.
But he meant when the boy threw him up in the air, but of course he didn't want to say so.
Can you hop on your hind legs?
That was a dreadful question, for the Velveteen Rabbit had no hind legs at all. The back of him was made all in one piece, like a pincushion. He hoped the rabbits wouldn't notice.
I don't want to. Wait, look, he hasn't got any hind legs at all. Fancy a rabbit without any hind legs at all. I have got hind legs. I'm just sitting on them. Then stretch them out and show them to me like this. I don't like dancing. I'd rather sit still. Come and smell him. He doesn't smell right. He isn't a rabbit at all. He isn't real. I am real. The boy said so. Come back and play with me. Oh, do come back. I know I'm real. Oh, dear. Why did they run away like that? Why won't they stop and talk to me?
Weeks passed and the Velveteen Rabbit grew shabby. The boy loved him so hard that he loved all his whiskers off, and the pink lining on his ears turned gray, and his spots faded. But to the boy, he was always beautiful. One day the boy grew ill. Strange people came and went, but through it all, the Velveteen Rabbit remained hidden near the boy, for he knew that the boy needed him and was afraid that someone might take him away.
The boy was too ill to play, so the rabbit found it rather dull with nothing to do. So he patiently snuggled down and thought of the things he planned to do, and while the boy lay half asleep, he whispered them to him, and soon the boy's fever turned.
I believe the boy has recovered and will be back to himself soon.
The rabbit was going to the boy was going to the seaside tomorrow. It only remained to carry out the doctor's orders. The room was to be disinfected. All the toys and books that the boy had played with were to be burnt.
Hurrah! Tomorrow she'll go to the seaside.
How about his old bunnies?
That way it's a massive scarlet fever germs. Burn it at once. Nonsense. Get him a new one. He mustn't have that anymore.
This is a fine place for a bonfire, but I'm too busy right now. I have potatoes to dig and green peas to gather, but I promise to come early tomorrow morning and burn all this.
What use is it to be loved and lose one's beauty and become real if it all ended like this?
Little rabbit, don't you know who I am? I am the nursery magic fairy, and I take care of all the playthings that children have left. And when they're old and worn out, and the children don't need them anymore, I come to make them real.
Was it that real before?
You were real to the boy because he loved you. Now you shall be real to everyone. I have brought you a new playfellow. You must be very kind to him and teach him all he needs to know in Rabbit Land. For he is going to live with you forever and ever. Now run and play, little rabbit.
Oh no, I mustn't. I don't want them to see me made all in one piece. All my side tickles. I do have hind legs. I'm a real rabbit at last. I'll go to the boy who I once knew.
Why, he looks just like my old bunny that was lost when I had scarlet fever.
But he never knew that it was really his own bunny come back to look at the child who had first helped him to become real.
So now faith, hope, and love abide, these three. But the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians 13:13.
This is my commandment, that you love one another, that your joy may be full, that your joy may be full, that your joy may be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another, that your joy may be full. As you can see, we are marionettes.
That means we're puppets that move with strings.
But this evening, we wish to share with you a story about a special wooden puppet
Who did not have strings.
He did have a loving creator who treasured him as a son.
And that's where tonight's story begins.
Where could my daddy have gone this snowstorm? I've promised to be a good boy and to go to school. If only I had a primer, but we haven't any money to buy one.
My son Pinocchio, this is for you.
A primer, but Daddy, where's your coat?
I have sold it.
Why?
Because it made me too warm.
Oh, Daddy, thank you.
When it stopped snowing, Pinocchio headed for school with his fine new primer.
As he walked, he imagined his future glories. First, he will learn to read. I shall learn today in no time.
Then he will learn to write.
I shall master it tomorrow. And then he will learn arithmetic. The day after tomorrow, I shall learn all the figures.
Pinocchio thought this would make him quite clever enough, and after he learned to read, write, and do arithmetic,
Pinocchio made plans to earn lots of money and to buy his father the nicest coat ever. He really deserves it. Suddenly, Pinocchio heard some wonderful music. What can that be? What a pity I have to go to school. Otherwise... Splendid drumming, do you hear the pipes? You should come and listen. All right, today I shall listen to the music, and tomorrow I shall go to school. Say, what is that building?
Read the poster, it is written there, and then you'll know.
I'd gladly read it, but I won't know how to read until tomorrow.
Well, those firing letters say, great puppet show.
Oh, good. How much does it cost?
3 cents.
Will you lend me 3 cents until tomorrow?
I sometimes have to, but I can today.
Then, you buy this primer for 3 cents?
Now the child had more sense than the puppet, and refused out of kindness, for the primer was worth much more than 3 cents.
but not everybody cared to protect Pinocchio from his own foolishness.
I will lend you the 3 cents for the primer.
Really? Okay.
Meanwhile, poor old Geppetto was shivering in the cold.
Brr! I shall have to wait for a warm day to go outside. I hope my Pinocchio is getting on well at school. Pinocchio paid his 3 precious cents to enter the lively theater.
He noticed his friends Harlequin and Punchinello on the stage performing.
Hey, why do fish live in salt water?
I don't know.
Because peppers make them sneeze. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Boo. Boo hoo. Aw, don't cry. Oh, am I awake or dreaming? Is that Pinocchio there?
Yes, it is indeed Pinocchio.
It's Pinocchio. Pinocchio is here.
Hurrah for Pinocchio!
Pinocchio, come up here to your wooden sisters. Why have you come here to disturb my theater? Believe me, Your Honor, it wasn't my fault. Not another word. It's dinner time and my mutton must be well roasted. I need some good dry wood like you for the fire. You and you, bring them to the kitchen. Oh, Daddy, save me. I don't want to die. Please save me. Achoo!
Good news, brother. Fire Eater has sneezed. That's a sign that he's pinning you. You are saved.
You see, while other men weep or at least pretend to wipe their eyes.
Whenever Fire Eater really pitied someone, he sneezed.
Achoo! Achoo! God bless you. Oh, fine, let him go, but my mutton must be well roasted. I shall burn some other puppet. Take that Harlequin and throw her on the fire.
Oh, no, not me. Have mercy,
Sir Fire Eater.
No. Have mercy, O knight.
I will not. Have mercy, Your Excellency.
What did you call me?
Your Excellency, please, I implore you to pardon poor Harlequin.
It cannot be done. As I pardon you, I must put her on the fire. For
his might and must be well roasted. In that case, I know my duty. Bind me and throw me in the fire. It is not that poor Harlequin, my true friend, should die for me. Oh, what a courageous hero.
you lose a fine fellow today. Achoo! Achoo! You are a good-bred boy, Pinocchio.
And is my life spared?
Yes, your life is spared. I will eat my mutton half done.
Jesus says in Matthew 5:7, Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown in mercy.
We could not have done this night without our teachers here. So if you're one of those teachers, please come up. Mrs. Hanson, Miss Early, Miss Johnson, and Mrs. Hitterdahl. Join me up here, please. And they were assisted by some wonderful directors, so thank you all of those who helped, and especially for Mrs. Engler, who guided the students in making all of the wonderful visual arts that you saw. If you haven't checked out the gallery, make sure you do tonight. We've reopened that here at the end. And Mrs. Robillard, who kind of coordinated this big event together. So thank you for their help as well. These stories are wonderful. We don't write them to create our world. We write them because we live in a created world. And so we are thankful to the Lord for allowing us to put this on as well. A note of hospitality. If you are a student in third grade or up, we're going to let our guests and performers from tonight go first to the refreshments. We do have some gluten-free options back by the window of the kitchen there. So thank you all for coming tonight, and enjoy the rest of the evening.